Welcome back. So let's dive in this video and really start to write a campaign. Remember, the example here is I've just made the sale. I've made the sale and it's a big one. I want to make sure that it sticks. The next logical step isn't for them to necessarily buy something else. It's for them to consume, to get value, for the sale to stick so that I can move them down the customer journey from prospect to buyer to promoter, right? I want them to get to where they're defending my brand publicly, to where they're passively promoting by saying nice things. If someone asks for a referral, I'm the first person that comes to their mind. And next, hopefully, we want to move them into the active promoter phase, to where they're actively telling people about me and my brand because they've had such a fantastic relationship. Now, the way that happens is by a nurture campaign. So in this example, we're going to use the payroll and HR SaaS or services company. You just made the sale. What do you say, right? What does your campaign say? What is the goal of it? How are we going to use email to move a person through this phase of the customer journey? We're going to start with consumption, right? We're going to nurture and start with the consumption of that major purchase they just made. Now, if you're in this business, you'll know that probably one of the biggest objections in getting people to consume is to get them started in the process, to the onboarding, any type of SaaS or major switch for a company or personally, right? You have to start the process and get them to start using and consuming. So the first email, I'd send something out that says your employee quick start plan. Because if you're here, right, if you're in this business, if you're in payroll and HR services, not only do you need the HR manager to buy in and use it, that happened in the sale. Probably the owner or C or D level employees have also are checked off and are bought into the process. But at this point, you need the employees to consume who may not have been actively engaged in the process and may see it as a hindrance, right? Change is scary. So I want to come in and give the HR manager who I'm probably dealing with now and I'm communicating with, or the person who made the actual purchase, I want to arm them with the ammunition to start to get them some quick wins so that they can start consuming and implementing this new major purchase that they just made. So consumption, your employee quick start plan. If I can give them 5 or 6 quick start things to do to where they feel a tiny victory, they feel that they've started to feel some of the benefit, or they feel like they've started to receive some of the benefit of a pretty major purchase, then this email was a success. I've walked them down the continuum of belief that this is right. I did make a right either recommendation or purchase, and I know that because I've started to use it. You know, I believe that I can use it. I believe that it is the right solution. I would do that immediately, right? Immediately, because again, we're in every phase, we have to say, what is a conversion? Well, here a conversion is the total onboarding and use of this new payroll and HR service, and there's a bit of a deadline, right? I don't want them to have overlap in between signing up and more than maybe 1 or 2 paychecks with their old service or processes, or I become obsolete. The question could sink in of, do I really want to stick with this purchase, or should we just avoid the opportunity cost and continue to do it the way that we've been doing it? That's what I'm fighting against. My conversion is consumption at this point. So consumption, first email, your employee quick start plan. Give them 4 or 5 quick wins, quick things to do so that they can start using the service or the software. Next, at that level, if you're an enterprise level, they should have a rep, at least a temporary onboarding rep or success agent. So I would introduce them, meet your new best friend. And I would go in and enter the conversation with this email that they're already having in their head. I would say something like, hey, Bob, I know that switching payroll companies and HR services is never easy. In fact, it's time consuming and it's just no fun at all. So I want to introduce you to someone. Meet Larry. Larry's #1 job is to take as much of that hassle off you as humanly possible. So Larry's going to be here every step of the way to walk you through the process, to help you when you get stuck, and to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Here's Larry's contact information. He should be reaching out to you in the next day or so to get started and to get you migrated over. That'd be a fantastic consumption email, because not only are you moving them down the continuum of belief, you're taking the hard work off of them. And in some cases, just acknowledging that things are hard and you understand the position that they're in and the things that they're going through is powerful in building a relationship and building that understanding that goes along with that. So next, I'd continue to focus on consumption. Remember, quick wins, boom, boom, boom. We're going 1, 2, 3. This in this case, may come directly from Larry. I would say another consumption, let's set this up together, right? Let's do this together. Camaraderie, we're in this together. You're not alone. That's the psychology behind this. You're not alone. I'm here to help. I know it's tough. Here's the things that I know right off the bat I can take off your plate. I won't know how much I can help until we jump on a quick call. Let's jump on a quick call. Let's get this thing set up, right? Let's get this thing set up, because the goal here ideally is how quickly can we get them to using this service? How quickly can we transition payroll services? How quickly can we get their employees a check that we ran through our company that has our name on it? That's the conversion here. Now, we're going to take a day or so off, and really this is going to go into a one-off, but at some point we're going to go nurture, right? Nurture. Because remember, it's not just the person who bought, it's not just the HR manager in this scenario, and we're diving deep into this fictional scenario here. It's the employees. The employees have to buy in. We have to continue to give the person who's implementing this little victories. So I would send a nurture email out next, where it's not necessarily getting them to consume or do something, but it's getting the employees excited about it. I would send an email that said, send this to your employees to get them excited. All right, pretty dead on. And you're entering in a conversation that's probably happening in the person who's implementing this new plan. It's probably happening in their head. I wish the employees were as excited about this as I am. Well, they're probably not going to be. Right? They're not, because it's not their job for HR. But if you can send them some information to send out to the employees that will get them excited, that will give this person such a huge win. So nurture here isn't necessarily nurturing them into thinking that that the solution's the best. They've already made that decision. They made that with their checkbook, right? They made that with the utmost confidence, and they gave you money. Now we're still working in consumption, but we're nurturing by giving them tools to help make their job easier. And in this case, their job is to get everyone switched over on it. I know from going through it, if we're going to switch HR or payroll companies, there's going to be a meeting. There's going to be a meeting that happens. No one wants to go to that meeting. No one at all. I helped to structure the meeting. I didn't want to be there. It's just not necessarily a fun thing. So send this to your employees to get them excited would be an email I'd send. Next, here's a rollout presentation you can use. If when we switched HR companies, if that company said, instead of let me send a person down, because no one at your company wants to hear some other outside person come in and speak about HR benefits, right? No one. They don't have the relational collateral to show that they care about your employees like you do. Your HR person does. If they were to send out a slide deck that said, here's a rollout presentation you can use. I've already slapped your logo and your branding on it. Just plug it into your, or download it, plug it into your projector and walk through these points at your rollout meeting. I really think your employees are going to get excited about the changes and the additional benefits that they now have. How much value did you just add? How much nurturing of that relationship did you just do by providing that? So much, so much. You just overcame one of their needs that they never expected you to do, right? A lot of these sales are made and then it's okay, great. Sales done, I'm out. Not here, you're nurturing that. Why? Why are we nurturing that? So that if they have a friend in business, they recommend you. They defend your brand publicly. They end up becoming an active promoter of you and your brand. I'd have one final nurture campaign here in this initial series that said, follow up from your team rollout meeting. Hey, I'd love to schedule a quick call with you to talk about how it went. Oh, and here's a survey we created, or you can create, either way. We created for you to send out to your team to figure out what they really thought about the meeting and what they're most excited about, so you know where to play up. Again, a ton of value, a ton of nurturing and ensuring that that sale sticks. Right now, if I think about, man, I really should just cancel this and go back to the way that we've always done it and just continue to write manual checks or go with the other service. We still have them. If I say, man, Larry and Bob and the entire team over at payroll company or new payroll company have been fantastic. Now I have some relational collateral there, right? I have a decision to make that's not as cut and dry. They've gone out of their way to make sure I had everything I needed to roll this out. Do I really want to cancel? Do I really want to go back and let them down? We've changed the relationship, right? We've changed it from transactional to relational. I feel some emotional ties to you for helping. I at least feel some responsibility. That's the goal of this campaign if you've already achieved marriage in your sale, all right? So that's the first example. Let's go through another one, again, assuming that the purchase has been made. Maybe it's not an enterprise level solution. Maybe it's just a mattress, right? Maybe it's a mattress. I came in, I bought the mattress, the upsell, engagement, consumption, nurture, all that worked. I came into the store, I bought a mattress. What now? You say, thank you, sir. I'd love to sell you another mattress. Maybe, right? Maybe while I'm there, but gosh, if I come in and buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress, whether I'm face-to-face or whether I'm online, if I spend a lot of money or even a little money on a mattress, and the next question is, how would you like 2 mattresses? The answer is no, right? And I feel weird. You're not building up any rapport. You're not building up any relationship. You're actually doing the opposite, right? You're causing me to want to distance myself from you because it's awkward. Don't be awkward in email. Don't be awkward in what you're asking people to do. Remember, it has to be the next logical step, whether you want it to be or not. So let's look at the example of a new mattress purchase. What do you say next? Well, we're in consumption, and this is important if you're selling physical products. There's a time at which, unless I'm walking into a store and leaving with this thing that I say, okay, thank you, here's my money, here's this thing, great, I'm going to go use it. There's a time at which you have to encourage consumption before I actually receive whatever it is that I purchased from you. And in a mattress or any kind of furniture purchase, that is important. That almost always happens. Almost always happens. So what would the first consumption mail be? Let's schedule your mattress delivery, right? Especially if you made it online and you didn't do that, you weren't able to do that right there with the rep. Or if you did, it may be confirming your mattress delivery date. Right? All this email is starting to keeping you excited about a purchase you've made, money you've given up in exchange for nothing. In exchange for nothing. I have to continue to paint the picture and teach consumption before you can actually consume. So consumption being, let's schedule the delivery. Right? Now that it's scheduled, you know when it's going to be in your house. You know when it's going to be in your home. What would the next email be? Your mattress arrives tomorrow, ready to get to sleep. That should say some. Ready to get some sleep. Right? Keep that excitement going. Remind them that, hey, you gave me this. I promised I would do this. I'm following through. Right? I'm following through. Then I would say, and this is one that I bet you limited to no mattress companies do. I know that I've purchased a lot of mattresses. I've never received this email, but I would have noticed it and I would have opened it had I. How was your first night on the new bed? Wow, thank you. You acknowledge the fact that I made a purchase with you. If it was large monetarily or not, it was at least a couple $100, but it was an event in my life and you're acknowledging that. Thank you. That's something that a friend would do. If I told you as a friend, hey, I'm getting a new mattress delivered tomorrow or today, I'm really excited about it, and we bump into one another tomorrow, one thing a friend may say is, oh, hey, how did you sleep? How was the new mattress? How was your first night on the new bed? If a friend would say it, you should say it, because friends build real relationships. You should be building real relationships with your list. So, how was your first night on the new bed? This could be a survey, right? This could be a testimonial request. This could just be, hey, I know that your bed was delivered last night. Wanted to make sure everything was okay. How was the first night? Hopefully it was great. If you have any questions, if you need anything, we're here. Just let me know. P.S. Here's a schedule on when you should flip your mattress. Now, I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but I believe it used to be. You'd have to flip your mattress every so often. Additional value after the sale's over. That's consumption, but it's also nurture. All right, it's also nurturing after the sale is made to make sure it sticks, to make sure that sale sticks. You don't want someone to pick up that mattress they've already used and bring it back to you. So I'd take a day off and then I'd transition into a more traditional nurture campaign. So again, time to flip your mattress. What is that saying? I know you made a purchase from me a while ago, but I'm thinking of you now. You did nothing to trigger this. You didn't fill out a contact form and say, hey, I may want another new mattress. I'm just continuing to add value and nurture the relationship for no reason whatsoever, right? Just to stay top of mind, just to maintain the relationship. So it's time to flip your mattress, right? Time to flip your mattress. Or maybe spring cleaning, question mark, use this to freshen your mattress. Whatever the case may be, just, hey, I'm still here. I'm still adding value. If you need anything, don't forget about me. Now, the next one, it might be something like you might want to read this. Pretend that Y isn't there. You might want to read this. Now, if I were trying to position someone into potentially getting a new sale, I would send them some information about maybe guest bedrooms and having mattresses that are typically twice as old and loaded with dust mites and all other creepy crawly skin flake things and stuff that mattress companies tell you that's probably true. There's probably a ton of information out there, but I can start to nurture and add value, but transition into potentially a new sale. So if I'm sending them information about how guest beds and guest mattresses are hardly ever replaced, but they are loaded with allergens and other icky things, then I'm starting to seed that, and the next day I may come back and say customer appreciation sale. Right? That's a nurture. If you can frame a sale and asking for additional money as a nurture campaign, as a nurture email, if done in the right sequence and order. So just like the rest of these, what I want you to do is not necessarily focus on the subject line. Those are there for examples so that you know how to write these subject lines out, how to phrase these and build these out in your business. But what I want you to focus on is the structure. What are we sending these people? When? Why? Okay? When and why are we sending them? So those are a couple of examples of nurture campaigns. But before we move on to the next one, I want to say one other thing. You can sell people, your best customers, people that you've become married to, other people's products. Right? Other people's products. You don't have to only sell them your stuff. A couple of things on this, and then I promise we'll move on. One, you serve a market, right? You serve a market. Your business should not be product-centric. It should be market or customer-centric. So you have to ask the question, what is the next logical thing my customer needs, should buy, should want, and remove the constraint of, do I have it to sell them, right? Remove that constraint completely and say, if I'm truly serving my customer, if I'm truly serving this market, what is the next logical thing that they need? What else do they need to have success, to get a better night's sleep, right? Maybe they need sheets and pillows and all kinds of other things that you don't carry, right? You don't carry. Maybe they need a fitness, an employee health and wellness and fitness program that even though there was a huge investment into your payroll and HR company, you don't offer that, but someone else does. Now, a couple of things here. By telling them and transitioning them into a softer upsell for someone else's product, you're serving them in what they need, but also you're figuring out if you, to truly serve your customer or your market, should be looking to add additional product line extensions or service offerings that other people have created to serve your customer that you don't have. Now, we talked about this a lot in the marketing calendar as it pertained to achieving your financial goals or your unit goals or whatever they may be, and figuring out when you don't have the product or service line to achieve those. This is another time when that comes up. This is another time that you can leverage your email list and campaigns to say, where are there holes in my product or service catalog? But before you think selfishly about the holes in your product or service catalog, think about what is the next logical thing that your customer needs to truly succeed, to truly achieve whatever their desired end result is. And if you don't have it, how can you build a true win-win relationship with whoever does? All right, how can you build that relationship? So in the next video, we'll break down architecting an upsell campaign, assuming the next logical step is small enough you'll go straight to the upsell. So I'll see you in that video.